Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. This is episode 17, where Jool window is what it's officially called. As you can see here, I've already plotted out our node. I've already got the craft into orbit. It is completely unmanned. This consists of a little cluster of probes that we're going to launch into the Julian SOI and try to get as much science as we can from Jool and its 5 moons. 5, right? Yeah, what is there? Tylo, Val, Bop, Pol, and Lace? It's 5. I'm not missing anything, am I? Alright. And here's our spacecraft. It's still got its orbital insertion booster attached there. There's 100 some odd Delta V left in it. Remember last episode I was flying out to Minmus with some satellites and the Kerbal alarm clock window popped up. Told me we had a Jool window available. And it turns out we also have a Moho window coming up in about 2 months' time. So we're going to have to get to that at some point here. Right now we're just going to spin around aimlessly while we try to find this node and get all of our things in order here. There we go. And getting this thing in orbit was not as much fun as you'd think. The fairing was huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah. And there's our alarm clock for coming up on this node. And ditch that and fire these. We've got 5 of the nuclear engines from the Nova Punch rocket pack, drawing from that big main fuel tank. And while we're doing this and we got plenty of power, we might as well double check our scientific instrumentation and verify that everything here is working correctly, which it appears it is. There's a lot of redundancy. So as you can see, we actually have 4 independently guidable probes attached to our one main spacecraft. So when we hit Jool's sphere of influence in several years' time, we will begin to start deploying these. We have 2 that have heat shields and parachutes that will one of them will definitely go to Lathe. One of them we may just decide to crash into Jool and see if we can't pluck up some of that science on the way back. The other 2 are solar panel and ion engine powered. The TIE fighters. Twin ion engines on the both of them. And hopefully they'll be able to just ricochet around the system and gather up as much stuff from each of the planets as they can, although they have 2 mystery goos apiece, but only 1 science junior. So, we're a little limited, but since we're going to be transmitting it all back anyway, you win some, you lose some. That's it, right? All in all, I think that we probably will have a second voyage to the Julian system whenever our next window comes about. Maybe send a manned craft out there to land on some things. There's lots of neat stuff to land on out there. It really is. It's quite cool. Lathe is pretty awesome and massively beautiful. I haven't seen it since I updated the improved clouds, the volumetric clouds. It's been quite a while since I've been out to Jool, so. Alright. I'm going to try to tuck some of these things away. Not much avail, but this is a really long burn. It takes a really long time, even with these 5 engines. They're only like 75 kilonewtons of thrust, I guess is our unit of measurement here apiece, which is still better than the 60 you get from the stock nuclear engine, but I believe they are considerably heavier, even though their profile is way friendlier. These are kind of like a cheaty part, and I'm sorry I'm using them. I keep saying that I'm going to go back to using KNW because it's just way more balanced, and honestly it's a little prettier. But I really, I want to keep some of the fairing parts, and like this 3.75 to 5 1.25 adapter is just awesome. I love it, so. Alright, oh, well, now we're getting further away, aren't we? Yeah, okay. So we're going to make an adjustment out here on our ascending node. That's only about 15 days away. So hopefully it'll be better. Bam. Oh, that's awesome. So if we miss that correction, we're going to get flung right out of the system. I've had that happen to me before where I came around Jool and encountered Tylo and we just got gravity shot clear out of the system. It happened one time to one that I had a Kerbal in. And that was really unpleasant because he obviously did not have the fuel to turn around and come back home. Didn't even know how to even begin to try to launch that rescue mission. It would help if I fired towards the node, wouldn't it? Yeah. Alright then. We'll try this. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Oh, that looks, yeah. Oh, a little closer, a little closer. That looks awesome. All right, and we'll be there in 3 years. Now it gives us plenty of time to do other things while this is just aimlessly drifting out in space. Yeah, it's it's nodes like that that make me kind of glad that I don't have a life support installed, even if this was crewed. Man, 3 years. That's a lot of food, man. That's a lot of snacks, I should say. Alright, and one last test of our sensory equipment. Now that we're out of Kerbin's SOI. Yeah, that's the problem with having 4 individual probes plus a mothership, is that there's about 1 billion scientific doohickeys on all of them. And all geared towards being able to collect as much science and broadcast at home as they can. I just hope that their center of mass is in line with their center of thrust. Oh, I'm so sick of having to manually fly everything at like 10% throttle. That's just, you know, irritating as hell. Really, really irritating. Alright. Now we're going to leave that closed. So we're going to take care of a few other business-like things here just to get our science count up and going. And first ones, well, it is definitely time to bring Shepsel here and our Bear deployment vehicle home. But, it's nighttime at KSC, and I really don't want to do a nighttime landing. And this is really the fastest I can time warp. So, maybe we're going to take care of a few other things. Remember that stuff that we dropped off at Eve and at Gilly? Let's go farm some of that science. It should have mapped everything it could possibly map now. So, yeah, we'll rename this appropriately now because it is not, in fact, going to Ike. Yep, completely mapped and nothing of interest. So, transmit all that data back home. That's a good little bit of science, eh? Nothing new from the telescope. Yeah, can't do much with that. Alright, so as for these guys, we'll just make sure that they don't have anything left waiting to come out of the tubes. Nope, alright. And they're minimisats. Oh wow. That's some crazy bioimage. Man. Interesting. And that will come in handy when we actually get a manned mission out here, which I don't know. Maybe we'll do that next. It's not very interesting. I'm very much looking forward to that Moho window. But getting a crew on its way to Moho still leaves a lot of time to do other things. Alright, just make sure there's no redundancy here with our other little map set. Alright. Alright, so we'll just warp a little bit and see if we can't just end up with KSP on the daylight side for a change. Alright, well, good. It is daytime at KSP, so now we just need to wait for our trusty bear to be in a position here to make its deorbit maneuver. Yeah, right about there looks good. Yeah, we're going to have to adjust that. We have to adjust all the things. Now, we do have plenty of fuel left in that guy. Liquid ox and just regular old liquid fuel. So, I mean, really, we could come in anywhere at the planet and fly around and land, but that's time-consuming and kind of boring. Anybody who watched the entirety of that X-15 video knows that when you have to manually fly halfway around the planet to hit a landing, it's excruciating at times. Yeah, this is just one ugly, ugly bird. So, alright. And our deorbit maneuver shouldn't take very long, but I have initiated it entirely too soon. So we'll just, we'll probably have to make some corrections, or we'll have to do some glide scoping, but, you know, whichever. Whatever happens, happens, you know? Alright, let's get this show moving. Let's see where we're at. Yeah. Oh boy. Looks like I may have overshot or undershot, so we're gonna put a little oomph back in our step here. Yeah. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, and now we'll get set up for our approach. We really need to make an SSTO that doesn't look like crap, right? Alright, and now I'm going to deny you the fun of a big, fiery, awesome re-entry by deploying my air brakes the absolute second there is something for them to hit. Shut down our rocket motor. And I don't know if it was just something with Interstellar or if it's something universal, but I've been too scared really to try. But one time I turned on my air breathing engines, like I didn't have any throttle going to them, just activated them in a vacuum and they exploded. And the end of mission status report thing said that they overheated, even though, I don't know, it was kind of crazy, but since that day I have never once turned on an air breathing engine unless there was enough air to power them. Which now we have. And still air braking and following generously, but just enough air to put some throttle to them, but we're not gonna. Not yet. Alright, come off those air brakes. I think we've slowed down sufficiently enough to where we know we're not going to break up and die in a big fiery ball of death, which is awesome. But yeah, our fuel weights are kind of off. I think there's way more weight at the ends of the wings than there are in the middle. Oh yeah, look at that thing bow and time warp. That's kind of crazy. As long as we clear those mountains, we'll be alright, yeah? Yeah, way clear. Well, I think we're actually coming in high, but we're also coming in, yeah, runway is 2 or 3 degrees north of us, so here at plus Mach 1. we're going to make some changes. I thought I had enough struts on this thing to prevent that sort of thing, that flexing from happening, but apparently not. So, oh well. I kind of like the wing structure of the old bear a lot better. That big, whoa, Flappy Bird. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, the wing structure from the old bear was just one big solid piece, and I loved that because it was easy to strut, and it was easy to manage. Lots and lots of drag though, but I've been watching Scott Manley's Interstellar series, and he has that wing set on an SSTO, and so I know it can be done. Really, I mean, Scott Manley can do it, so can anybody else. He's not, he's not a god, though maybe just amongst men. Alright, undercarriage down and locked. Let's just flare that tail around, see if we can't get a better approach on this runway. And my vertical descent is still kind of ridiculous. We need to make sure we clear this part. So we'll kill some of that vertical descent speed and get the distance we want. Alright, yeah. Alright, looking good. Looking good. Oh man, are we coming in way too fast? Or are we coming down way too hard? Oh, Shepsel. Shepsel, bring it up, bring it up. Stall that out. Alright, slow it down. Oh! Oh no! Oh! Okay, well, he's still alive. At the moment, still alive. Still alive. Oh, Shepsel, you asshole. Wow, what was that? Yeah, well. Anyone you can walk away from, right?